there is a door. You've seen it before, not in your house, not on your street, but in your mind. You've been staring at it for so long that you almost forgot it was there. Almost. Because deep down, you know what's behind it. You can feel it every time you wake up, every time you fall asleep. Behind that door is freedom. But every time you reach for the handle, something stops you. Fear, doubt, the quiet voice that whispers, you can't. What if I told you the door isn't locked at all? For years, he lived inside an invisible cage. He woke up early, worked hard, smiled when expected. But every night when the world went quiet, his mind wasn't quiet at all. It raced. It replayed mistakes. It worried about tomorrow. Life became routine. Coffee, commute, work, home. He was surrounded by people, yet felt completely alone. He told himself, this is just life. But deep down, he knew something was wrong. He wasn't living then, he was just surviving. And then came the day when the cage started to collapse on him. The relationship he thought was forever ended with a single text. The job he gave his heart to let him go without warning. Bills piled high on the kitchen table. He sat there in silence, head in his hands, and for the first time he heard the voice in his mind louder than ever. You are a failure. You will never be enough. No one cares. It felt like the end, like the walls were closing in, like the door would never open. One evening, desperate to escape his thoughts, he went for a walk. The park was nearly empty. That's where he saw him, an old man sitting on a bench, feeding the birds. There was something peaceful about him, something unshaken. They made eye contact. The old man smiled, and then, without introduction, he asked one question. Who told you the door was locked? The man laughed softly and said, the prison you're living in? It isn't real. You built it yourself. And you're the only one holding the key. Those words didn't just land. They cracked something open inside him. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept hearing the question, who told you the door was locked? The next morning, he tried something new. He sat in silence for 5 minutes before touching his phone, just breathing. It felt strange, even pointless. But he did it again the next day, and the next. He started writing down one thing he was grateful for, even if it was something as simple as, I woke up today. Some days he failed. Some days the negative thoughts were louder than ever. But he kept going. He learned to notice his thoughts, not obey them. When fear said, you can't, he asked. Says who? When doubt said, you'll never change, he replied, watch me. And little by little, the cage began to crack. Weeks turned into months. The man who once felt hopeless began to feel alive again. He said yes to opportunities that scared him. He forgave himself for the past he couldn't change. He stopped living for approval and started living with intention. One day, he saw the door again, the one he had feared for years. This time, he smiled. He reached out, and with one gentle push, it opened. Behind it was everything he had been searching for: peace, clarity, freedom. Here's the truth. The prison was never real. It was built by thoughts, fears, and stories you kept repeating. Your mind is not your enemy. It's your most powerful tool, but you have to take the key back. Freedom is not given, it's chosen, and it starts the moment you decide to think differently. If this story spoke to you, take one small step today. 5 minutes of silence. One thought of gratitude. One moment where you tell yourself, maybe I can. Then take another step tomorrow and another the day after that. Because one day soon, you'll realize what he did. The door was never locked. It was waiting for you all along. If this message helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment and tell me what door you're ready to open. And subscribe for more stories like this. Because your journey isn't over yet. It's just beginning.